Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Inga Cotton. I'm the founder and executive director of San Antonio Charter Moms, and these are Charter Moms Chats, where we've been going live to talk about questions what parents need to know to keep their kids learning during the pandemic. What's happening at schools of choice in San Antonio. And today we're going to be talking about an event that I'm really excited about. It's the San Antonio Virtual School Fair that's going to be happening on January 30th. 2021. And to talk about it, we have a special guest. We have Ayla Dehghanpoor. Wait, did I say that right?
You're close, Dehghanpoor.
Close. Dehghanpoor. Okay, thank you. Ayla Dehghanpoor. Okay, and thank you. And so she is the marketing communications manager with Families Empowered, which is a Houston-based nonprofit, but they also serve Austin and San Antonio. And their mission, it's similar to what San Antonio Charter Moms does, in that they're helping families and they're helping them to research their school options. But they do extra stuff, like they have a call center, and they do a lot of bilingual work, and they're just a really great partner. So we're really happy to be working with Families Empowered. So Ayla wrote the guest post today, and there's a link to it in the description of the video. So if you want like more details and like links and like how to register for the virtual school fair, you use the link in the description. But so I'm really happy that Ayla's here, because she's been doing a lot of work like planning and organizing the virtual school fair. So thank you. Thanks for being with us.
Yes, I'm so excited. I've been watching all of the Charter Moms chats. I love them. I'm excited to be on the guest side this
time. That's right. Yeah. So as we know, this school year, 2020-21, everything's a little different this year. So tell us, like, why is the school fair virtual this year, and what are actually some of the like maybe silver linings of having it go virtual this time?
Yeah, so everything is crazy this year. Everything has been crazy. It's going to stay a little crazy. So, in anticipation of that, at Families Empowered, we really worked hard to look at our programming. Normally, we're out there. Normally, we're at events and we're talking to you guys in person. That's what we like to do. And that's just not possible this year. And, we really sat down back in May, and we said, okay, we do big events, usually in January, right before those typical lottery deadlines for charter schools. Do we think we're going to be able to do that? And we said, probably not. But we wanted to make sure to still be able to connect parents to schools, because that's what's important. You can't make a choice if you don't have access to the knowledge that you need, right? It's great that options are out there, but if you don't know about them, how are you supposed to choose? So we decided to move the fair virtual, just so that we can keep connecting parents to schools. We have seen this rise of like all the Facebook Lives. We do them. We've been watching yours. We've been watching everyone else's. And they've been really interactive and they've been great. And we know that parents really crave it. So we're going to keep bringing it to you as long as y'all want them. And so we're super excited. And as soon as we knew we were going to do it in San Antonio, we pulled on some great partners. SA Charter Moms is one of those. I think, Inga, you were like one of the first we went to. We were like, we want Inga. And so we are partnering with SA Charter Moms. We're partnering with SA School Finder, and we're partnering with Mindshift Ed, as well as National School Choice Week, which of course isn't really Texas-based like the rest of us. They are in Texas, they're national, but they're really supporting the event to make sure that we can all connect.
Yeah, I think that, National School Choice Week, they do a great job of communicating about how school choice works and offering insight about like online schools and stuff like that. So we've been sharing a lot of their resources, and it's really exciting that the virtual school fair, coincides with when National School Choice Week is happening. So, we get to like double dip. It's like we're having a school fair and we're having a National School Choice Week event.
Yeah, and I think what's going to be so interesting, and I'm sure, SA Charter Moms, you've seen this, that we're seeing just like a flood of parents who for the first time are looking at other types of schools and school options and, homeschool, pods, all the different things that are available now because of the situation we've all been forced into. And so I think that it's really wonderful that, we'll have a lot of sort of our like veteran school choice parents who are trying to find an option. But I think we're also going to have a lot of brand new parents who are just sort of dipping their toes in. So, what's going to be great about this fair is that we'll have a live stream going the entire time on the page that each of the partners will take a little bit of the time, and we'll have guest speakers and we'll have raffle prizes, and all of the info we'll be sharing on the live stream that's running all day long, so you don't have to worry you're going to miss any of it. Is that we'll be talking about those like school choice basics, right? We'll be walking through what does homeschooling mean? What is pods? What are these different school options? We'll hear from really exciting guest speakers that I can't talk about yet, but if you RSVP, you'll get the list. And so there will be that sort of extra element to it where parents will be able to go on, talk to schools one-on-one, which is what I think is the most exciting part of this school fair. And then they can also learn a little something, and then last but not least, get actual application help with a real person one-on-one.
Yeah, I think that's super exciting. I think when we first had like that planning conference call of like, and I think I think some of the people on the call were a little skeptical of like, well, how is this going to work? How would you make this like? How do you overcome the logistics, and how do you make it meaningful for the parents who register and to participate? And I think what you just made some really key points. One is the fact that right. So like an essential part of like physical school fairs is the fact that the schools have these tables set up, and you get to like, as a family, you could walk up and you can ask them questions, and they might have like teachers or students or parents that you can interact with. And so I think, you guys were like, okay, how do we add value to a virtual event? And I think instead of having like just static videos or just a static web page, instead it is real human beings, right? It's teachers, principals, parents, real people from these schools, and you go into the Zoom room with them and you get to ask them, the questions you would have asked them if you were on a school tour or if you were at their table at a school fair. Like you get that real life experience.
Yeah, you get to really connect with the schools, which, I mean, we all know that's the best way to make a decision about whether or not a school is going to be the right fit for your unique kid. You'll get a feel for it. You're the parent. No one else knows. You know your kids better than I know your kids, and better than I could ever know your kids. So by offering that to parents and letting parents really connect and just sort of get that gut feeling, that we get when we talk to someone, is one of the things that we really wanted to make sure we were creating with this school fair. And the schools have been super excited about it. All of our San Antonio partners have been so excited about it. I think one of the kind of fun and nice things is that the schools are actually going to get to be even more creative than they can be when they just have a table at a booth, like at an actual fair in person. So I think we're going to see some really innovative, cool things that they'll do. I have a feeling some will probably walk you around the school and do like a narrated tour and things like that. Some schools will probably have breakout rooms where you can talk to the music teacher or the science teacher and so I think that's going to be really fun.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what people do with it. I think that, people have just been so creative about, finding ways to meaningfully communicate and connect in spite of, needing to stay physically distant. And I'm super excited about, what the schools are bringing, the creativity they're bringing. I'm excited about the San Antonio Termos time slot on the live stream, because we have some guests that we're lining up, and, how we can, because I feel like we've tried to be really responsive over the last 6 months about what parents need to know, and so we're trying to figure out how do we bring that to the live stream, to continue like partnering and problem solving so that, parents can, get their kids through this, as happy as possible and doing as much learning as they can. Right. And then another part of the fair too, is that, I think one of the great things about Families Empowered is that you guys work alongside parents, like with things like in the past, you would have like application nights, like, at a computer lab, and sit down with them and help them fill out like online applications for schools. And so the plan is you guys have a plan to address that in the virtual fair, right?
Sure do. And we're really excited about it. That was a key element. We know from holding fairs in the past that some parents walk in and go straight to the application zone. They already know they want to fill out apps, but they just want help. You just want somebody to help you who's seen the application before, who, can help you make sure you're clicking the right button. And so we will be hosting a Families Empowered Zoom room. It'll be at the top of the page, real easy to click on for application support. And once you go into that Zoom room, everyone in there will be bilingual, so that we're really excited about being able to offer that. But you'll actually be paired one-on-one with a family success specialist in a breakout room, or you'll be able to complete your applications over the phone if you feel better about that. And you'll be paired one-on-one with them for as long as it takes for you to finish filling out your applications. They'll be right by your side. You can screen share if you need to. They'll sit there and walk you through things, and we'll help you fill out literally any application you want to fill out. Magnet, private, public charter, all of them.
Yeah, that's wonderful, because it the stakes are so high, right? I mean, parents care so much about their kids, and they want to get them into the right schools, but it can feel really overwhelming. And I remember how it felt when I was just getting started. Like, at this point, it's more, I've seen a lot of websites, and it's not as scary, but I have to put myself back in the shoes of like how I felt at the beginning, and just how emotional I got. And so I'm really grateful that y'all have that team, of bilingual family support specialists, who are really caring, and really, and they're not trying to tell parents like, oh, choose this school or choose that school. Like, they're just trying to listen to the parents and help them problem solve like where they're trying to go.
Yeah, we always say we don't care where your kid goes, as long as it's a school that you're happy with, that they're happy with, and that they can succeed in. So yeah, we're definitely not here to match parents to schools or choose one type of school over the other. We're just here to help you get into a school of your choice.
Yeah. And I think one thing where Tanner Tutor Charter Moms and Families Empowered are well aligned is we started out with a focus on charter schools, but really we want parents to be happy, whatever the school model is. So if it's traditional public school, magnet school, in-district charter, open enrollment charter school, private school, in our Facebook discussion group, it's all fair game. We talk about enrichment, we talk about what nonprofits are doing. There's so many ways to help your kids get a good education, and it's not the model of the school that matters. It's like you said, it's like, is your kid happy there? Are the parents happy with the school? Are they succeeding and they're safe, and they're getting the education they need for the future?
And a lot of that is up in the air right now for lots of families, and not by choice. A lot of people, in addition to realizing that what their current school is doing just isn't working in this crazy environment and atmosphere that we're living in right now, a lot of families have moved by choice or not by choice. And so all of the things that we felt secure in before this pandemic, in a lot of cases, are up in the air right now. And so this is a really great opportunity for families to make sure that going into the next school year, they can address any type of learning gaps that have happened, any type of, COVID slide, which we know is real, and really get their kids into a place where they can succeed, and that the parents feel comfortable that their kids are going to do well. So really great opportunity to meet, chat with schools, and actually get a feel for it.
Yeah. It seems like what I'm hearing from schools and from parents is that there's just a lot of movement this year, right? It's people, moving from one city or one neighborhood to another, but also families deciding well, I think we're going to homeschool for a while, and then that opens up a spot, and then somebody gets called up from the waiting list, and then they leave their other school, and then there's just the velocity of kids moving around is a lot higher, and which causes strain on families and on schools, but it also creates opportunities. So there might be families who've been on the waiting list for a while, and then all of a sudden the spot opened up at something they'd been waiting for a long time. So
yeah, it's, and there are also a lot of brand new options that didn't exist before now. I think you had them on, and so have we, but Great Hearts Online, right? Open. This is going to be in January, their first semester. So, there are also new options that are kind of new to everyone. And so I think that's what we're the most excited to share with parents is here are your options in this crazy climate, and don't miss your deadlines. They still exist. They're still there.
Yeah, no, that's really true. Yeah, because that late January timeframe is ideal, because that's the point when almost everybody has their application period open, and and getting in during open enrollment before the lottery is everyone's best chance to get an offer and not get necessarily added to the waiting list. So.
Yeah, and to be able to apply to multiple schools if you're looking at maybe you're looking at a magnet program, and then you also just you should have a backup, right? You wouldn't do anything without a plan B. And so, being able to apply to multiple schools that you feel confident your kid can succeed in is really the key to success there, and making sure that or increasing your chances of being offered a spot at a school of your choice.
Yeah, right. And there are I've watched like the range of high quality school options really grow in San Antonio over the past few years. And so it's great. Like I'm seeing more families like, get an offer instead of just being like, well, we applied to one school and we didn't get in. But the downside is it can be confusing because they were trying to choose from among all these great options, and it can get overwhelming.
Yeah, and even just something as basic as trying to figure out all of the different application deadlines. We do that every year at Families Empowered. We assign it to someone, and this is our full-time job, and it takes us like weeks. A parent, you have a job, you have to get dinner on the table. Now you're helping with, in a lot of cases, at-home learning. You're the teacher. And so, something as simple as the deadlines even is what can be confusing, and getting application help and being able to apply to schools right after you've talked to them, so it's fresh on your brain and you know what you want, is, I think, a really great win for parents, because you're in, you get it done, you're good until it comes time for the lotteries, and you have to make a decision.
Yeah. No, I think, I'm excited about, I know it's different than how the school fairs have been in the past, but I'm excited about this process, and that I really think it will be able to serve parents. The challenge is that what you and I are doing right now, which is getting the word out. And so I hope that parents who are watching this, it's like, share the video, like tell your friends, like add them to the Facebook event, and then they can, register on Eventbrite and get the updates, and, make sure that they're logged in on, January 30th and able to talk to the schools that they want to.
Yeah, we're in pre-registration right now. So if you go and you register on Facebook or Eventbrite, we'll get all the updates. You'll be one of the first people to see the list of schools when it goes live. So definitely RSVP if you can.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm trying to think, is there anything that we didn't cover? Is there any, and then there's events in other cities, right? So yeah. I'm focused on San Antonio, and that's, January 30th is the date that we're having that. But there's also Houston and Austin events around the same time, right?
There is. So we are holding something very similar in Austin Virtual School Fair on January 23rd. And then we are holding a Houston Virtual School Fair on February 6th. So friends, family, maybe you're moving to any of those areas, or if you just are curious, all of the events are absolutely free to parents. So everyone is welcome.
Yeah. Well, I'll probably tune into the live streams for Austin and Houston, because really a lot of the same topics, that we're dealing with here in San Antonio really apply to like families across Texas with, the struggles that we're dealing with, right? It's like, do I put my kids back on campus? How do I keep them from getting bored if we're home all the time? What do we do?
Yeah, how to keep them engaged. And, key to that is really, choosing a school that kind of has a plan. I think if I were to give like an inside tip that isn't in the blog, I would suggest to families to ask schools, what was your student engagement like when you shut down in March? Because a school that pivoted quickly and was able to keep kids engaged and do it in a way that applies to your child. Again, every child is a different kind of learner. I know lots of kids that are doing so well at home. They love it. They're obsessed. They just want to do play dates and keep doing school at home. But there are also so many kids that it's just not working for. So being able to hear how they engage the kids during the original shutdown and see how they pivoted will probably give you a good idea about whether or not they can recreate it, improve it, going forward, especially because as of right now, we still don't have a vaccine. So I think that it's important to remember that we've seen it in San Antonio. A couple schools went back to all virtual. Could happen again before we see the end of this. So keeping that in mind is probably a good question to ask.
Yeah. I think if a school is like, well run, has a good handle on technology, they're better able to adapt to distance learning whenever it may come up. And honestly, I don't think it's ever going to fully go away. Like, I don't think we're going to have snow days anymore. I think it's just going to be like, oh, the roads are icy, so it's virtual learning.
Yeah, I think that that is a possibility for the future. I think we all have to hope that our digital divide doesn't widen, that we keep making sure that families have access to devices and internet so that they can get what they need. That's also a good question to ask if you come to the fair, to ask about devices, Wi-Fi connectivity, if there are maybe send home packets so that you're not having to print a million worksheets, right? That's something that nobody thought of. Everybody thought, well, I got a laptop, that's great. Well, you also have a bunch of worksheets. Do you have a printer? Most people don't. So, just really asking questions that are unique to your family situation and what's going on at your house and how your kid learns, I think are all really great questions to ask.
Yeah, that's what, we try so hard to have blog posts and, and chats and stuff that explain what a school model is. But like you said, there's always going to be questions that are unique to your family. And, sometimes we, in the discussion group, a family will ask oh, well, how early is drop off at a particular school? If they have a job, they work on base and they work at a hospital and they need to be there early, other members can sometimes answer those questions, or sometimes even somebody who works at the school will chime in and say, oh yes, we have aftercare from such and such and such and such. But there's just always, education is so, there's so many facets to it. And, it comes down to having conversations. And then, like you said, the great thing about these Zoom rooms is that when you're actually talking to people from the school, you get that vibe. You'd be like, are these my people? Do they get me?
Yeah, exactly. Having a real conversation, making that connection, I think is so easily lost in this world where we're all Zooming and on Facebook Live. And so being able to see somebody and talk to them like we're doing now is so much more effective than if I were to just watch a video of you, Inga, talking about this, right? Because, we can move forward, we can pivot the conversation, and that's exactly what families are going to be able to do at the fair. They can, in real time, talk to someone, ask questions, get the info that they need to know without having to email somebody and go back and forth and call. It's just there.
Yeah. Well, okay, so let's give people the nuts and bolts, the call to action. So what should they do as soon as this video ends?
As soon as this video ends, go RSVP. Like I said, we are in pre-registration right now. I believe that we have the link, but I can, of course, go in and share it on this post afterwards as well so that you can just click it. And so go and RSVP today. It's a really quick, easy RSVP, totally free. What will happen is that as soon as the list of schools is live and ready to go, you'll be the first to see it. You'll get an email. And then every time we add schools and make updates leading up to the fair, you'll get a notification. And you'll also get login details. So, of course, when it comes time to go to the fair on January 30th, you will need to click through to the website and log in. And so you'll get emailed your login details. You won't have to do anything special. And it'll be really easy. It's a single page. You click around. No crazy platforms that you have to learn and figure out. It's all very basic stuff to make it as easy as possible on any device that you want to access it from.
Yeah. Well, this is great. I really appreciate all the logistics and the work that Families Empowered is doing, and I'm really happy to play my part of having this San Antonio Charter Moms community, talking about it and being aware of it. And we've been in our newsletter telling schools about it, encouraging them to register, so we have a really good set of schools from San Antonio that families will be able to talk to. So
yeah,
I know that process is underway.
The schools that we have so far. And of course, I want to point out that after the fair is over, you'll still have access to the website and all of that school info. But instead of being able to click through to the Zoom room and talk to them one-on-one, so you will have to come to the fair to do that, you'll actually be able to click through and see the SA Charter Moms enrollment guides for all of the schools, so that if you miss it, you can still make sure that you're getting all that key info that you need. And then, of course, Families Empowered provides that application support 5 days a week, 9 to 5, unless it's a major holiday. So we're also here to help you totally for free after the fact.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So families, be sure to click through. The link is in the description of the video. It'll take you to the blog post, and through there you can go to the Eventbrite and pre-register. And like Ayla said, you can get you'll be the first to know like which schools are involved, and you'll get the login information sent to you, and you'll be sure to be able to participate in the San Antonio Virtual School Fair on January 30th.
Awesome. I'm so excited. We hope to see you guys all there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I'm really happy to be hyping this to the SA Turner Moms community, and hope we get a really good turnout.
Thanks for having us. I'm excited to be a guest.
Yeah, you could be on the other side of the StreamYard.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. All right. Talk to you later.
Bye.